Ladies and gentlemen, to honor America, please stand for our national anthem. And they're off. Good morning, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to Saratoga Racecourse and another delightful day here at the spa, day number 22 of the 40-day meet. Mostly sunny skies, the temperature will be in the low 80s. Main track is fast, the turf courses are firm, and there are no portable rails up on either the melon or the inner. Jackpot carryover in the Empire 6 of more than $79,000. Here now today's changes. In the first race, scratch number 2, Tesserina. Scratch the 2. All horses will be 1 pound over. In race 2, there are 2 scratches. Scratch 1, Palomita, and 7, Carrizo. Scratch 1 and 7 out of the second. In today's third race, scratch number 3, Hetty G. Scratch the 3, and number 1 is 2 pounds over. The fourth race is the Perfect Sting Stakes. Scratch number 3, Another Broad. Scratch the 3, and note that numbers 2, 4, and 6 will be 2 pounds over. In race 5, which begins the Empire 6, these horses will carry 1 pound over. Numbers 1, 2, 5, 6, and 10. In the sixth race, scratch 1, I Love Lulu, part of an entry. And scratch the 2, Topper T. Scratch numbers 1 and 2 from the 6th. Seventh race, scratch number 2, Wander In. Scratch number 2, Wander In. The eighth race, scratch the 1, Kosciuszko. Scratch the 1, and number 3 is 2 pounds over. In the ninth race, scratch 1, Voting Control, part of an entry. Scratch 9, Noble Thought. 12, Blewett, and 13, Seafoam. Scratch 1, 9, 12, and 13. And in today's 10th race, we have a jockey change on the 2, Rosie's Invasion, to Mike Luzzy. Mike Luzzy rides the 2. These horses will be 2 pounds over. Numbers 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 8, 10, 11, and 12. And note that number 12, Mopoka, will run with cheek pieces. Cheek pieces on number 12. Scratch the also eligibles 13. Hey, it's Tati through the 16, Big Al's Gal. Scratch 13, 14, 15, and 16 out of the 10th. We're fast and firm with a jackpot carryover in the Empire 6 of $79,310. We'll come back at 12:30 to recap the changes. First race post is at 1:10. Up next, the Friday edition of Talking Horses with Andy Serling and Anthony Stabile.
For almost 150 years, the Saratoga name has been synonymous with the finest quality, sustainably sourced spring water available anywhere. Saratoga carries on the rich tradition of its forefathers by crafting each stunning blue glass bottle with the same attention to detail and care that has been its hallmark for generations. Visit SaratogaSpringwater.com today or ask for us by name at your local market or restaurant. Saratoga Spring Water. Make every day exquisite.
Good morning, everyone, and welcome to Talking Horses, presented by Saratoga Water. Andy Serling, soon to be joined by Anthony Stabile on a Friday here at Saratoga as we head into Alabama weekend. As Alabama weekend gets underway today, an excellent 10-race card today. Looking forward to discussing it with Anthony Stabile. Looking forward to you betting it with Naira Bets. Head on over to nairabets.com. If you're not a member, sign-up bonus, we will match up to $200 of your initial deposit if you use the promo code SPA to become a member of Naira Bets. Support New York racing. Enjoy the many promotions we have. In fact, I was just texting with a friend of mine who hit the pick 5 yesterday on Thursday. $9,000 pick 5, and he got $667 extra in his account because he was one of 3 people, apparently, that hit it through Naira Bets, and he got to split up that $2,000 bonus on Thursday. Don't sneeze at that. That's a real opportunity. Now, obviously, a tough call yesterday, but still, I mean, anything. Even if you were one of 10 people that got it, it's a couple $100. It's a significant rebate. So that Thursday bonus on the Pick 5 is a terrific thing to get involved with. NYRA Pick 5, also the best bet in racing as well. A $5 bonus if you bet $25 to win on both the last race here and the 4th at Del Mar. Win, lose, or draw, but you must play it through the app. Also, want to let people know? What do we want to let them know? Bankroll Builder. Towards Kentucky Derby, bet 50 or more to win. Anybody in the Alabama, and I will be doing just that. To get $20 back, win, lose, or draw. Once again, NYRABets.com for more information. Another way to get some money back playing through NYRA Bets. Also, playing the contest. The only way to play the Sunday contest is to be a member of NYRA Bets. $250 live bankroll play. And we seed the pool with $2,500. All the prizes are in cash. And finally, every day at Saratoga, since you can't come to Saratoga and watch the action, you can watch it all over the place. Go to NYRA.com/Saratoga Live to find out exactly what networks we are on, covering all the action here as well as YouTube. We are on the NYRA YouTube channel live. Anthony?
As are we.
How are you?
Good morning.
Thank you. Means a lot to me.
What's happening?
Not a lot.
How about that Pick 5 yesterday? Pick 5 comes back 9,700, 9,600, whatever it paid. The late Pick 5. Late Pick 4, $283. Now, I know it's a 20-1 shot, it's on the board. But come on, guys. I mean,
no, I agree. It paid over double what the Pick 4 paid.
It's insane.
I agree. And it was a 5-horse field.
Absolutely
that
insane.
Horse that won the race, the horse for Jimmy Ryerson, Miss Marissa, she got a 91 buyer. She ran yesterday. And I mean, I know that, a lot of us were sorry that Tom Amos horse didn't get a more aggressive ride. But at the end of the day, she lost a horse that just ran a huge race.
You know how hindsight's 20/20. My pig-headedness and my stubbornness.
Well, you are a pig-headed and stubborn guy.
I'm stubborn. I do. My two biggest opinions in a race, one of them was completely wrong. I didn't think Risky Mandate wanted to go that far. She ran sensationally.
Well, you also thought the 5 was going to win.
Hold on. My two biggest opinions in the race was the one wasn't going to go that far, and I've said for 2 years on this show that Indy Union's a one-turn horse, not a two-turn horse. If I'm not as stubborn as I am, I'm a gabarost, as we say in Italian. It's a hardhead. Supposed to hit that. I hit the Pick 4.
I know, you had
the Pick 5
two terrible
yesterday.
opinions in the race. There's no reason you shouldn't hit it. Can we start the action today? We got 10 to argue about today.
Sure, let's do it. You've already insulted
I'm not
me.
even going to tell you that Anthony's wearing shorts. I'm not even going to bring that
Got my
up.
Angus Young look going today. I
Angus
even wore a
Young.
gray coat.
Pull that out. I had a roommate, I think, was it a roommate, a friend in college who loved AC/DC.
And our wonderful camera person, Colleen, is wearing her AC/DC shirt.
She is wearing the AC/DC shirt. Kaka is normally in full rock and roll regalia. He's moved up his garb.
I'm going to tell you this. I think Kaka's in front of Jonathan Kinchin for the shirts at this point. I think Kinchin's on the chase right now.
You think he's been motivated by Jonathan?
Maybe.
Anyway, race number 1, they're going 6.5 furlongs. Anthony and I, as usual, have a completely different opinion here. Even though he picked Wishes and Dreams last time, he's still going to have the horse second because he's pig-headed. What do you like about Spanish Peaks as a morning line favorite, who I don't really get?
Yeah. Inside speed in here for Jose Ortiz and Brad Cox.
Fair.
I just, a little bit of a fresh face. I don't really want some of these other horses. I know there's a lot of fresh faces in here. But I don't know. I don't want horses cutting back really in here. I mean, she's cutting back off the turf, but her best races.
Her best races are bad. That's my problem with her.
Yeah,
she drops.
But at the very least, she drops and she's going to be in front. I mean, that might be enough against this.
But she's also going to be the favorite. That's the
I
problem that I have.
I know.
Mike Dubb starts day number 22, tied with Clarvich Stable for the lead with 6 wins each. A competitive meet, 3 diamonds right behind them with 5 wins.
Clarvich Stable maiden ran great now.
Great compared to the horses that she was in with.
Big effort yesterday.
Yeah, 70 buyer. Let's not get her into the Mount Vernon just yet.
No, all right.
I like 2 horses in here. I like the 5, Flaming Red, and the 7, 8 and Unlucky. I think 8 and Unlucky will be the shorter price, so I picked her second, though I think she's very logical, and she should be attaining the pace. As far as Flaming Red, this is 2 races back. This is a horse that really never wanted to go this far. He made that move, excuse me, and got there and just didn't finish up. And you know me, I love turnbacks. I found a stat for Wayne Catalano with his turnbacks with maiden claimers, where not only has he done reasonably well with a good ROI, a lot of them hit the board. I thought Flaming Red and 8 and Unlucky were reasonable alternatives. The horse of the rail, who is the speed, I agree, but just isn't that good. There's Flashing Red. And I thought 8 and Unlucky for Lacey Cadet, Cabby's sister. Coming here, I mean, this horse is dropping. Just seems good enough. Ran against British Idiom last time she was in Saratoga.
Yeah. Shippy, first thought of her career, Shippy was that big 2-year-old winner last year.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, so.
She ran in the Schuylerville, ran 3rd, right?
Ran 3rd in the Schuylerville. Yep.
She
Yeah,
disappeared.
I
She went to
just went-
California.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Doug O'Neill?
Doug
I think they bought her.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You are
Um,
correct.
Yeah. I mean, look, I don't have a strong opinion in here. You
I
can
do.
Make a case. Okay. I'm glad.
I'm all in on the 5 and 7 here
The
to start
closest
the
thing your
pick
top
5.
pick did to sprinting was a 1-turn mile at Gulf. From the only time she went 1 turn, it was the best race of her life.
Race number 2. The reality of race number 2 is that Christoph will probably get his 8. What is he at 16?
Yeah.
He's been stuck at 16 now for 9 racing,
9 racing
8
days?
racing days. I mean, listen, the guy's had an unbelievable start, and any trainer that has a run like that is going to tell you, I'm going to run out of ammo at some point. And I think he's probably sort of gearing up for the second half of the meet the last 2 to 3 weeks.
I was able to tune in very briefly yesterday to Saratoga Live before I went on the air with Race Day on HRRN. And you brought up an amazing point. I'm not going to say a great point. I'm going to go beyond great and say amazing.
Wow.
When horses
I'm in
win
tears.
races, they have to step up more often than not.
That whatever just flew over even got Martin Pants to turn his head.
It's not an owl, is it?
I don't know what it
Scared
was.
the death of owls.
Anyway,
When they run back, more often than not, they're facing better competition. So it's very hard to come firing out of the gate like Christoph Spartan did, and now expect the same
a case in
ammunition.
point is going to be in today's 9th race, which we'll get to. Notorious RGB will probably win this race. I think she just sort of sucked along, and it made her look a lot better than she is, because frankly, her first 2 races are not very good. So you have to ask yourself, did she just get like dramatically better in 2 months, or did the race sort of make her look better? And I think it's probably a combination of both. I think she improved, and I think the race made her look better. I'm always going to root for her name. It's a great name. I bet her in her debut only because of the name. I turned that on while I was home, and I said, you know what? I got to bet this name. 8-1, 7-1.
Yeah, I mean, I see what you're trying to do. The only if you think she's a little vulnerable, you're doing the only thing you can do in here, and you're taking the filly that's going to get loose on a lead.
My problem with Brass Ring is that some people will bet her because of a ridiculous 10-length win on a super speed track in the dirt last time. I liked her that day of the turf. I couldn't help but think she would have won because, you always feel like that, right? But the truth is she has some decent turf races, and she's, as you like to say, going to be in front of these horses. And I don't have any argument with the 6. She's the horse to beat in here. I don't like anyone else. Like Tipple. We'll take a look at Tipple winning. And Kyoto did come back and run well last time. I don't want Tipple in here. This was the day for Tipple. She ran, though. You have to admit, she did run in here.
She kind of got the best. She did run, but she kind of got the best
ran,
of it
though,
as well,
but she
right?
ran.
Yeah, she did. She did, but she kind of got the best of it. And, Kyoto, like you said, she was okay last time.
See, Stop War is the classic horse that just sucked along in a slow pace and was third because there was nobody else in the race to do any running.
Well, you know what's funny? I wonder if that race back on June 28th, I don't want to say a key race because I don't know if I really want...
like Henny Penny here.
Yeah.
It's not a key race.
But basically, not a key race, but are they just going to get their turn going through that race?
I don't know. I mean, they've got, in theory, listen, if you take it at face value, Notorious RGB should be around 3 to 5 in this race. I don't.
But you know what I mean?
Turf racing has a way of bringing horses that are non-contenders into races, and their speed figures make them look like they ran races they didn't run. And I think Notorious RGB is a perfect example of that. She still may win. But I'm a little suspect, and I don't know if she's going to be 7 to 5. She may be odds on here.
Yeah, I put Stop War second just for the simple fact that
you feel bad for Christoph. That's why you picked all his horses today?
Brass Ring is going to be in front, and I mean, she's got to be laying second. So if Brass Ring doesn't want a turf,
the Notorious RGB is going to be sitting second, right?
Oh, you think so? I think
Notorious RGB will be sitting second.
Okay, I thought Stop War would be sitting second, but
she's woefully slow. But she's woefully slow. I mean, I don't even know. Is she even good enough to be sitting third? Yeah, she may be sitting third. She's been on top of some very slow paces. You have to be careful with turf sprints. I mean, the paces. By the way, how about the maiden claimer? I'm very happy for Bruce Brown that he didn't lose that maiden claimer yesterday. But I guarantee you he breathed a sigh of relief when he found out that horse didn't get claimed. That, what was her name?
Robin Sparkles.
She ran faster than Tom Morley's filly did.
So I think I was talking to Phil about this. Happy birthday, Phil, by the way.
Happy birthday, Phil. Should we sing?
Nah, I'll sing to him later.
Let's move it on, so get it out.
The Empire 6 yesterday. I wonder if you flip-flop those races if nobody hits it at all yesterday because of Robin Sparkles getting you got to see all the money come in.
The people knew that horse was going to be short, and you would have seen the doubles anyway. The race number 3, I don't agree. So
Okay. I didn't say.
I'm sorry that Hetty G scratched out of race number G because I really didn't like her today.
Okay.
And I think this is a race that is filled with phony baloney horses like DeBoards and Mosienko, and I can't wait to bet against them. I mean, when I say I'm salivating to bet against the Mosienkos and DeBoards.
Stay over there, please. You don't have a mask on.
Probably should have a hood on. Anyway, go ahead. The guy who picked them 1-2.
Well, man, listen.
And keep in mind, the odds are obviously going to be much
Yes.
different because I'm assuming that David had AG was 3-1.
Mr. Serling, this is one of those races where I do not have a lot to say.
I do.
We have to. I'm glad you do. You can carry the weight here, pun intended, because like you, I wish I could have gotten creative in here. I could not have gotten creative in here. I knew you were going to pick Making Out.
Well, the thing about Making Out is I think you have to bet Making Out here because Making Out, turf race 2 back off the layoff, then caught a sloppy track that she didn't handle last time. I know you have some opinion that Making Out can't run anymore. I don't agree with it. I think today is the day to try Making Out in the big drop down. And frankly, I think Persian Queen on the drop down is eligible too. Both of these horses have figures that are significantly faster than 6 and 7, and they're going to likely be longer prices. And I think they're both as good, if not better, horses. I mean, Persian Queen was in a race she had no chance to win last time, and she actually closed a little bit of ground in there. Good enough to be competitive here. I don't think she's any worse than DeBoard and Mosienko, and I think she'll be a much bigger price. So it's all 4s and 1s for me here.
Okay. I'm using the 4 horses I have on the screen, and that's it.
Race number 4, an interesting race, the Perfect Sting, where we have extremely polar opposite opinions in this race. Somebody actually, a couple of people said to me, did Anthony actually pick Piedi Bianchi second in here? Well, apparently he did.
Anthony came very close to picking Piedi Bianchi on top.
Okay. Okay. You didn't slip or hit your head or anything, did you?
Knock
I just
wood.
want to make sure.
Knock for Micah.
Should we get a doctor? Should we have Johnny get some medical help
please.
for
There was
you?
enough last year.
Here, could use some. Okay, why don't we start with why you like Piedi Bianchi?
All right, so I'm going to give you a little quick story. My buddy
Keep it
Jay
quick.
owns a piece of her. When she was with Todd Fletcher, I talked to Todd about her, and he thought she was going to be good on. She was going to run well on a turf. They got to run her one time on the turf. It was over a yielding course at Gulfstream. For them to admit it was yielding, that means the Atlantic Ocean had actually come onto the turf.
You understand she's running against significantly
I understand
good
what
horses today.
I got it. I also
a
know
lot
that
better than the horses she ran with that day.
She also missed a year after that race. So obviously, combine the fact that it was a bog and obviously an issue was Pegasus World Cup day when Bricks and Mortar won.
Maybe she likes a bog.
And maybe she doesn't. She comes back for Carlos Martin. She's run well. And
Of course, wasn't boggy for that horse, but okay.
no, he wasn't. Nothing affected Bricks.
That wasn't a boggy.
Anyway.
Okay. I understand she's the speed.
And she's the speed. And
Anthony,
I
she's
am not
100 lengths worse than these horses.
Listen, I am not a big fan of any of the fillies of the 4, 5, 6, or 7. I think Cafe Americano is very, very dangerous today. And I think last year when I watched her run, I was looking forward to seeing her as a 4-year-old and mature a little bit. And now I think she catches the right bunch of horses because I'll be honest with you, I am not impressed by any of the outside 4 fillies. I think we have seen their best.
And it's all better than anything Cafe Americano's ever
And
run.
it is all
By a
better.
lot.
And up to now, it is all better. And I'm taking a horse on the come that's not going to be a great price. But I feel very confident in Cafe Americano today. Very confident. Very, very confident today.
I'm a little nervous that my friend Sarah's watching Talking Horses. I feel like the world may be coming to an end. I like Cafe Americano as a horse. I do. I don't know if I agree with David that she's going to be... Well, 5 horses can win this race, the 1, 4, 5, 6, and 7. So I don't have a problem. You have to leave horses out somewhere.
Of course.
I mean,
I'm just joking with you.
I liked her in the QE2, and she was a victim of a very slow pace. And she didn't even run that badly that day. The problem is she's going to be a victim of that same slow pace today, and she's going to be facing horses that may be as good, if not better, and they're all fresh. And while Chad has solid numbers coming off Chad Brown off of layoffs with turf routers, there's some talent in here, and like Secret Message and Altea. Now, yes, we're going to show Altea getting into trouble, and Altea gets buried in here, and there's nothing Joel could do about it. He was patient, he did his best, and he lost by a length. Secret Message got it done, and then she met the tougher field last time out and didn't run well. Obviously, Grand Motion Source were running a lot better at this point,
Yes.
so I can move her up a little from that and move her down. They're just not running quite as well. Altea, I would have picked on top because I think she has really improved. She's also, though, pace dependent, and she's still Altea. She's still Altea. She's a horse that just doesn't win races.
And she's the most affected in the race by the lack of pace, right?
No, Cafe Americano is, because she's not as good as Altea. That's the problem. She needs help. She's not as good as these horses, and she needs help. They're both deep closers. Altea came from 1,000 behind last time. I mean, I can't believe she got fourth in there. I respect her. I think she's the one to beat. But let me ask you a question. Chaleur. We'll show Chaleur's last race. Isn't she more your kind of horse in this race?
Yeah.
Because she's going to be on top of the pace. I think this is a significantly better field than she beat here. I think that the third horse was unlucky to lose this race, and this is tougher, but she's on pace, and she could be improving for Bill Mott.
So listen, right, and she could. She's going to be sitting second to Pieri Bianchi, whether that's a loose two-hole, whether she's right on top of her, whatever it is. You and I disagree on a lot of things. The thing we disagree on the most is
politics.
When they get, I'm not a political person. And we're both Mets fans, so we're good there. When these horses get older and mature, they change. I'd be stunned if this race doesn't line up 2-6-1 today. And I know you think Cafe Americano's out the back.
Anthony, seriously?
I would be stunned.
Okay, I know.
Because you brought it up the other day, intent.
Anthony, let's not discuss paces. You and I look at pace figures. I try to make rational decisions. You decide horses are going to be forwardly placed based on, I don't know what.
Andy, she doesn't have to be forwardly placed to be laying third in here.
Okay.
I mean, she could be third, but 5 lengths off the lead.
Maybe she will.
You know what I mean?
Maybe she will. Okay.
And I look at one thing the same. If I'm David Cohen and Pieri Bianchi, I'm trying to bottom the mountain here.
Oh, that'll happen. I like the 5 Feel Glorious in here. I'm not discussing paces with you. It's not a conversation that's ever going to be anything other than aggravating.
Okay.
I think Nick Juarez has blown a lot of rides this year that I've seen.
This was something.
And he just buried this horse on the rail, and the entire race was being run in front of him. It's like he had no concern that the horses he needed to beat were in front of him. Now, maybe he isn't good enough to beat Lele. Probably isn't. Or Beautiful Lover, who are better horses. But they're pretty good horses, and this horse was just, I know he saved ground, but it's like the race was over by the time he got to those horses. And I think Feel Glorious run well, and I'll tell you something else about Feel Glorious, and I think you will agree with this. She's better with less distance. She actually ran well in the New York, chasing outside against a gold rail, a mile and a quarter. I think if you look at her, she may be a horse that wants less distance, not more. So I think she benefits from this race very well, and I like Feel Glorious in here at a bit of a price in a wide-open race. And believe me, I think Cafe Americano can win. I wouldn't go near her at 2-1. I'd book her rather than bet her at 2-1.
Do you think she'll be the 2-1?
David Aragona makes the best morning line in America. I would make one of the worst. So if David thinks she's going to be 2-1, I'm going to side with David.
Chad, Rod. Yeah.
Whatever, yeah. I mean, whatever. I mean, his morning line's I couldn't make a morning line to save my life, and he's terrific. So why would I so I see it, and I think she's 2-1. Good, I'm glad I picked against her.
I'm going to try and make some. I'm going to bet 1-2 all, 1 all 2.
Okay.
In the try. And
okay.
I
wish you the best of luck with that. Race number 5. I guess the question becomes in race number 5 whether or not ahead of plan our horse can run it all anymore, because that effort last time was pathetic.
It was not good.
No, it was pathetic.
It was not good.
It was pathetic.
And he's in for the 40 now, and Chad's numbers the last year
worked like
and a
9
half.
4/5. The 2-year-old sale ran with endorsed first time out. It's a tough game.
Scary.
It's a tough game.
It humbles you.
Tough game.
It humbles you. Yeah. I mean, Chad's numbers again just in the last year and 7 months. Dropping in. Chad Brown, 22%, 22 starters, 41%.
They're routers.
They're routers.
Well, his numbers with sprinters are not. He's like 2 for 4, I think, and with a second and third. But it's the thing about
that sounds pretty good.
Yeah, well, it's 2 for 4, but it's a non-existent number. It's not good. It's a non-number. This horse ran extremely well in the turf race that he ran in because he stumbled really badly and ready for prime time, got very lucky to wire in the front. And he's had 2 wins here at Saratoga. They were both complete gifts. And actually, the fact that he closed in that race was amazing considering his stumble and the way the race was run. I don't know. I'm just going to hope he gets it done. I've always wished this horse would be okay. He's got to beat one horse, basically, on paper, and that's It's a Wrap, who we'll look at 2 back. And Michelle's making the right move. She's dropping down. This horse is just sort of okay. He was run off his feet last time out. He's the horse to beat. It's a wrap. He has the better recent form. I thought it was the 5 and 7. There are some other oddballs. You seem to be wildly against this horse.
No, I'm not. I'm not really. I mean, to me, it was just kind of filling out the bottom of the card here, and I just wanted to maybe put a couple of prices ahead. It's a wrap. He's obviously the second horse in here, but I mean, man, you don't want to take this ahead of plans. Ordinarily, a horse we're not going to take, but where else are you supposed to go in here? And look at this stat. This horse is going to be this horse should be and likely will be the clear-cut second choice. It's a wrap. You want to bet him off this number?
Well, I'm just showing it because he's going to be a short price. I'm not throwing horses out because of trainer stats.
No, I didn't say throw him out, but what I'm saying is...
I think he's the likeliest winner of this race because ahead of plan, there's a real question about whether or not he can still be competitive based on his last race. So I worry about him. I mean, there are other weirdos near. There's Cloquist, who I think Phil Gleaves is turning back to a sprint and did run against much better horses the 2 times that he sprinted to begin his career. Phil took a terrible beat yesterday with that, the Thin White Duke. Oh, my God, was that horse home free. That was crushing. And even a horse like Point of Humor that didn't have the best of trips last time and probably benefit from the rider switch to David Cohen and does have some back sprints that are good enough to win this. I wouldn't totally fall asleep on that horse. I mean, why is that horse 20-1 morning line and New Frontier 4-1? New Frontier's 2 turf races are not a lot to write home about.
Yeah.
At least Point of Humor has some turf races that are actually pretty good.
At the very least, you know where New Frontier is going to be. New Frontier is going to be in front, and we've seen horses not as good as him just wire fields here.
I mean, no, we haven't, actually. Not in turf races. Not in turf sprints, we haven't.
Bottom level maybe claimers?
We haven't seen. You said we have, and I'd like you to give me an example. Just one.
The proverbial we've seen, man.
The proverbial we've seen.
It's time for
I want a horse to be named the proverbial we've seen. Now, that would be a great, that would be an awesome name for a horse.
Can we go to break, please?
Go to break, and I'm going to bash him with one of these bottles. We'll be right back.
For almost 150 years, the Saratoga name has been synonymous with the finest quality, sustainably sourced spring water available anywhere. Saratoga carries on the rich tradition of its forefathers by crafting each stunning blue glass bottle with the same attention to detail and care that has been its hallmark for generations. Visit SaratogaSpringwater.com today or ask for us by name at your local market or restaurant. Saratoga Spring Water. Make every day exquisite.
Welcome back to Talking Horses. How's this, Anthony? Presented by Saratoga Water.
This is wonderful. Bottom and top, like that pajama game.
Race number 6. Race number 6. Can I just say enough with I Love Lulu? It's now 4 entries, 4 scratches.
Yeah.
And it's hard as a handicap to look at these races because this race changed dramatically now, and your horse Shamrocked, who I have second, who is going to be favored. I think David would have made, David can text me, but I'm guessing David would have made Shamrock, even though he, like the rest of us, thought I Love Lulu probably scratched. Clench wouldn't be 5-2 on his own, and I think that because of the pace scenario, Shamrock would probably be favored if you knew that I Love Lulu wasn't running, and he's supposed to try to wire the field. He's dropping down, but don't forget, he was running much cheaper, and boy, Ray Handel has not done much wrong at this meet.
No, he's not a true drop down. Like you said, he went through those condition claiming ranks a couple of years ago.
He's not winning in a non-winners of 1.
No.
He tried, and he failed in the
sure
winter.
did.
So when's he going to win now?
Yeah, exactly right. I mean,
but he is a layoff horse that's going to be favored that is dropping off a layoff. I mean, you always have to imagine. You can't ignore that.
But the truth of the matter is, you look at some of his races. His best race when he's chasing Chateau around there, when Chateau was Chateau.
All I'm saying is he's now going to be favored.
He's vulnerable.
And, these horses, you don't want to say, I'm not worried about at all about it.
And he's got to go 6.5.
You're going to be worried a little bit about it. I don't worry about 6.5.
I do off the layoff. I do.
I know you do. He's got 3 wins at 6.5 furlongs. How much you worry?
No, I understand that, but
that's right. Speed's only good in routes off layoffs. Is that what it is?
Off the layoff, the half furlong. Sometimes
shouldn't you be betting against this one because Speed's not good at off layoffs? Wasn't that the big theory? Just asking. Just trying to hold you accountable.
Going long. It's harder to condition a horse to go long
So
on
going
the lead.
long speed's bad, but sprinter speeds is good.
Sprinter,
Well,
I handicap the
trying
race
to
a little
keep
more evenly
Anthony
when it's a
Stabile's
sprinter.
Guide to handicapping.
Yeah, I'll write the book over the winter.
Will you?
No. You kind of handicap these races now, assuming I Love Lulu's not going to be in the race.
I know. He's like a ghost.
I put him third, but because you're not going to let him beat you if you're playing pick fours and pick fives like I do. You're going to let I Love Lulu beat you in this race? No, you're not.
No.
But yeah, I mean, this job
I'm
gets,
going to say a couple of things.
job
about
gets a
this
lot
race.
easier for Shamrock, right?
I do wonder a little bit, if Clench is going to be more aggressive in this race. So maybe he'll look to be a little more forward
The
in here.
magic's gone, Andy.
And I also think that California Night. Maggie, I believe, felt there were legitimate excuse for California Night. Now, I don't know if he's really any fast enough anymore, but I think you're going to see Jose be much more aggressive with him. So I'm not saying they're going to be blistering out there, but I think you're going to see a couple of horses maybe be a little more aggressive than they would have been if I Love Lulu had been in the race. Is that fair?
Yes, I am very curious if these horses have their speed anymore.
That's fair.
I mean, Shamrock, we know Shamrock does. When last seen on Leap Day, Shamrock was on the chase, and he still has his speed as of 4.5, 5 months ago. The rest of them, I mean, Clench for obvious reasons, and California Night for California Night.
Can I discuss Family Biz? Are you okay?
I mean, there's never a bookmaker around when you need one. That you were going to pick Family Biz today, but he makes a lot of sense today.
I haven't picked him in his 2 races since the comeback.
He made a lot of sense today.
I haven't picked him in his 2 races since the comeback.
Today.
The reality is that he was running in ridiculous spots off of the return. And it says that got out 4 or 5 7. That's just not true. He actually angled him out around the 5/16 to quarter pole to angle him out to try to make a run. He didn't get out, and you can watch the head on. That's absolutely. I don't know if that was something that was taken from the chart that's just inaccurate or if it was a bad take from it. But he didn't get out, and it wasn't at the 7/16 pole. Having said that, so I watched because I was worried. Is he a horse that's drifting out badly, has issues? It's another horse, This horse was claimed for $25,000. Tell you one thing, runs back to that March 6th race, I don't care what the distance is. He'll make this field, they'll be spinning their heads around looking for him. And now he's running a race that was dominated up front on a super sort of speedy type track at Belmont. And then last time out, what was he going to do in that field going a mile and 1/8? He's a one-turn horse. And I know he's not going to get a lot of pace to run at. He's going to have it, but I got to give this horse one more chance because I know he's good enough to win this race.
He's the 3rd horse in for me. He's going to be a price too. So I mean, he probably won't be. He's not going to be the 12-1.
Yeah, I mean, you and I saw the race relatively similarly. I don't have any big disagreements. I just have to bet a horse like Family Biz.
Yeah.
But I also acknowledge that
and
the
that's
race
why I
has
said that I
changed.
knew you were going to pick him today because of the 3 or 4 horses that make sense, he's going to be the biggest price.
So my friend Sean was over this morning, and he compared Fig Jelly to Jacques Hu. I snapped at him because I was in a bad mood, but he's actually right because that's who I am. But he's right.
You snapped?
I know.
I can't believe it.
I mean,
hi, Sean.
It's unbelievable.
This is one of the most unbelievable ones.
This is not Indiana Grand. Doesn't matter. They all look the same. It's unbelievable. 25 starts, 2 wins, 12 seconds, and 1/3. Sort of shows up pretty much all the time. Keep in mind, most of those are turf races. So if you get off a synthetic, actually one of his wins was on synthetic. You look at a horse like this, and I think you have to say to yourself, I can't pick this horse on top. Only an idiot would pick him on top. Ladies and gentlemen, Angel Cordero, an idiot. No, you're not an idiot, Angel. This guy is.
Angel's flowers beat my father's to the hospital room when I was born. Don't let him hear you call me an idiot.
Angel's the man. He is, by the way, in Saratoga,
he's the king.
Angel is
he's not
truly,
the man, he's
truly
the king.
No doubt. You had to be. If you weren't in Saratoga when Angel Cordero was riding high, then you don't know what it was like. I mean, that guy, he ruled this town, right? I mean, you weren't even here. Like as a kid, he was
the king. When
people
say Saratoga,
he was incredible.
When you say Saratoga, I say Angel Cordero.
Why is he going to win today?
He's going to win today because his hang efforts, his second place finishes, bury these horses.
I know, but it doesn't matter. Doesn't matter. Doesn't matter. He loses. That's a weak opinion by you. That is some opinion.
He lays over the field.
But let me say something.
He lays over the field.
But this
is role reversal.
Well, yeah, I mean, I agree with you. He does lay over the I totally agree. Anthony's 100% correct. You're 100% correct. He lays over the field. Al Gold's back, by the way. Mm-hmm. Well, everybody's here. Like all the celebs are
here's the thing you have to. Here's the thing. He has never run at this level. He's never running the 2 life. He's running in 2 other ends.
He's now going to show that he can hang against the best of them and the worst of them.
Listen.
I put him third because I was so afraid that my top choice would get scratched. I didn't want to scratch into him.
You put this horse third?
Well, because you understand what I'm saying. In other words, I was afraid Wesley would scratch one half of the entry.
And you
I end up with inheriting him, and I didn't want to do that.
Okay.
And I do think. Okay, you are absolutely right. Let's take a look at a bunch of horses from here. You're absolutely right, Anthony. He lays over the field. I cannot.
I hated him. I didn't want to take him.
I know you did. I know. Bourbon Currency is the horse that you want out of this race because he just got buried. It wasn't Jose's fault. He had nowhere to go. He saw a seam down his side. He tried to go there, and that got shut off too. And I think Jose knew there was a good chance it would happen. I actually think Varying Perception got a great ride by Manny Franco in here. But this and Tenure, these horses are slow. They're not. I don't see these horses beat them. Now you're going to argue and say, well, Andy, you picked a horse No Bang No Boom, who may be slow too, and that's perfectly fair. But I'll say a couple things about No Bang No Boom. That was a good field he beat last year as a 3-year-old. So he has a right to improve from there. Now, obviously, he ran horrendously after breaking slowly at Keeneland. I don't know what to expect.
He ran against stakes horses.
Yeah, I don't know what to expect from No Bang No Boom. But I know that Wesley Ward, these are the kind of horses that just seem to run for him sometimes. I hate entries. You got the other half, but the other half's going to go. And I just, I hate entries. But you've got Fig Jelly who's going to be close to even money in here. So I'll take the entry. And you have to admit, you picked him second. Empire Line is the wise guy horse this race. He may stink. I will say, watching his race, they tried hard with him last time. But you know what? First race in over a year, down at Delaware, comes up here. There were he was running his better horses last time out.
I like the fact that they ran him naked last time. And now he gets the blinkers and the LASIX with the race off the 13-month break. I love the fact.
Did you say naked? You mean with no blinkers?
No blinkers, no LASIX. Okay. They give him blinkers and LASIX today.
You should define that.
When they ran him first time off of the
I don't know what it means.
13-and-a-half-month layoff, they ran him the way he's run, and spending his whole career in Europe, no LASIX. He gets the LASIX and the blinkers with the race under his belt. He was
6-1 in Group 3 over there. And Matt Scher is a wise guy, and he's a sharp owner. And Chuck Lawrence has done some smart things over here at times. You want to use him. The thing is, you look through. I don't want horses out of the 10-year race. Okay,
no,
Hurricane Hill beat a terrible field with a gold rail trip last time out. It's just like, where else am I supposed to go in here? So I end up with the 2 alternatives, or the entry. Mostly the 1 is the one I like. I hope the 1A wins.
I'm using lots of 3s. I'm using a little 6, and a very little 6.
I'll use the 3 because you are right, but he just never wins.
He's never run at this level. But you might be right. Listen, sometimes there are horses out there. This is something you ordinarily would mock me until we ran out of time and sent it back up to Johnny I. There are some horses you could run them for $35,000, or you could run them in the Met Mile. They're going to run the same exact race they always run.
I don't think that he would run second the Met Mile. Let's go to race number 8, or we'll run out of time because we do have a lot to talk about. Quickly in here, we'll show Tail of the Union. He's way the horse to beat in this race. I thought he was last time. I know he's moving up in condition, but he's faster than these horses. Why are you trying to beat him with the 5 Leaky Cup? You're not the only smart person I know who likes Leaky Cup.
I think Leaky Cup finally finds a race that he's going to be able to control on the front end, and I think that's what he needs to do.
You don't think Johnny's going to be right with him with this horse?
I don't think this horse is. I don't think he's fast enough. I think with a horse like being edging out of his way now, I think this horse gets to get in front and do what he likes to do.
I'm just sick of Leaky Cup,
and that's fine. This is a horse I very rarely try. I haven't tried him often. Today is the day for a.
Doesn't Javi have to go with Thorny Tail? Didn't work great in him last time.
We talked a little bit about him last time. I think he's a horse that needs some moisture in the ground. Even when he broke his maiden, that was off the turf day.
Okay. I like Runaway Loot. I realize that he's sort of ridiculous, and he was scratched acting up in the paddock here a few weeks ago. I don't want to get too much on my soapbox, but if you read the chart for his last race, it says that he broke through the gate and fell. The fact that at that racetrack, Laurel, he was allowed, if that is true, and I have no reason to believe it wasn't, other people tweeted that he fell.
Yeah, it was a Twitter hubbub that day.
Right. To let a horse run that fell breaking through the gate is something we'll never see at the New York Racing Association, and frankly, you should never see it in horse racing. Having said that, that's a heck of an excuse.
I don't mean to laugh.
He's a bad actor. No, you're not laughing at the situation. It's disgraceful what happened down there, if that's the case. But this is a very good horse, and he's got some good races, and I'm going to give him a shot here.
I worry about everything that happened last time.
He could be completely screwed up, but I got to give him a chance.
And now he's in for the tag for the first time.
I get all of it. I'm not in love with him. I think the 4 is much the worst to beat. I'm going to use him and a little Casmania. Casmania gets Irad. I don't think Kendrick did anything wrong with him. I think Irad would have won on him 2 back. I'll give him one more chance. I'm not thrilled with your horse, but hey, good luck. I hear you. I just had enough of Leaky Cup, but maybe you're right. Terrific 9th race today, and that's why I wanted to sort of get through that race and talk about it. There's a lot to talk about here. We'll start by showing the horse you have on top, Mr. Alec. I don't like Mr. Alec in here. Why do you think going 3/16 less against a much more competitive field, he's going to win today?
You know, I had the conundrum here was the distance, right? Because he's only run a mile and 16
and talent
once in his life. I like that.
Very well.
This
was a very fast race. I agree with you.
This was a good race. His race behind Cross Border was fine, you know. The cutback is the only thing I really don't like in here because this is another race, Andy, where he's supposed to be able to either control or be very close to the front end. I mean, who's going to the lead?
Seriously?
Maybe Empty Tomb. You're hoping here.
Empty Tomb is going to the lead.
Okay. You also got to hope that he's going to be able to transfer his speed from the dirt to the turf.
Okay, because you don't really understand his pedigree. This horse has a gigantic turf family pedigree. It's the family of Dynaver and Furthest Land. This horse has a significant turf pedigree.
Dynaver ran in the Belmont and Furthest Land, who won the Breeders' Cup Dirt Mile.
These were turf horses, and they were turf families. Dynaver didn't run in the turf because he was trying to win a dirt Grade 1.
He was trying to win Belmont Stakes,
They didn't want to devalue him. I mean, there is a reason people don't run good horses on the turf.
But don't you think the connection? No. Don't you think Steve Asmussen and don't you think Arnel Delacour knew this?
No, I don't know. They thought what you knew. And by the way, he ran well enough in the dirt. They kept him in the dirt. And Steve, he's running him at Oaklawn. What turf race? Now he goes to private purchase by 3 Diamonds, and he goes to Mike Maker. Mike Maker, he's no dope. He's going to the right surface with this horse. And this horse is going to be in front. And I'll tell you something. I don't love him, but I won't be shocked when this horse wires his field.
Okay.
And he's going to be on my tickets. Mr. Alec walked in the front end last time in a totally uncompetitive, paceless race, and the horse who ran second did not come back and run to his last race, and he improved at a time when Christoph's horses were all running really well. I'm not knocking the race he ran, but this is a completely and totally different scenario he's in. And I'm not saying he can't win. He's my 5th pick, and a lot of horses can win this race. But I think he's going to be a short price based on a race that doesn't really funnel into this race very well.
Okay.
I think the horse that to beat is the 1A. I'm actually kind of glad they scratched voting control, even though he could have won, because if Value Engineering runs back this race, and I know you're going to say he's cutting back, well, he won a mile and a quarter, he beat Ty the Sea, and he beat Mr. Alec, and he did it as much the best. He was just way too forward. That pace, 50 on that racetrack, that wasn't good. That horse was severely yielding, and this race just came apart late. And I know he ducked out late, but this horse ran a tremendous race last time. When you consider the dynamics of the race, I think he has gotten very good Value Engineering.
I think part of the reason
you don't have him anywhere in the top.
I have him 4.
Wow.
4, 8, 7. It's supposed to be 4, 8, 7, 1A, guys. It's supposed to be 4, 8, 7, 1A.
I'm going to tell you, I know somebody who's watching the show, and he's probably in tears. He's probably disconsolate.
It's supposed to be 4, 8, 7, 1A.
I think the damage has been done.
I think part of the reason to like him is cutting back a little bit.
Okay.
I think maybe
you don't
last
like
time.
Him. Why don't you like him?
I don't like that race last time. I just don't like that race last time. That's really last race.
I think he ran giant.
I know.
No,
I don't like that race.
We will just agree to disagree and move on.
Yeah.
Now, I think we both agree that the number 8 current is a player. I mean,
isn't he the horse to beat?
No, the horse to beat's the 1A, but.
I completely disagree with that.
Okay, that's fine. I hear what you're saying. He's been carried along a little bit by being in stake-faced. He's yet to show he can win in general. He did get a ridiculous trip last time. I mean, he was basically 3 wide around the track by Gallardo in a race that was dominated up front. He had absolutely no chance in there. I don't know what to do with him, but he is in a more reasonable spot. But don't mistake this race for something other than basically a stakes race.
No, right. Blinkers go on, or Ortiz Jr. It's a big rider switch. You have to imagine he's going to get a better trip than he did last time because, like you said,
it's not getting a worse
just
one.
3 wide around 3 turns. I mean, you're not getting a worse trip than that.
And well back off a slow pace. So, yeah, he was the whole package last time.
Yeah.
No doubt. No doubt. He can win
Now,
this race.
he also could very well be the sucker horse in here.
Because he's not a winning type.
He's stakes-faced.
Yeah.
He's going to take money. They're going to see the rider change. They're going to see the equipment change. And he could just be one of those horses I mentioned earlier that he's just going to run the same race he runs regardless of what his class is. Yep, he's a turf horse.
Why conviction trade?
I'm going to be honest with you. This was strictly a stretch out a little bit for a horse I think is going to want a little more ground. And
he can be forward in here.
At a price.
So he can be forward for trainers having an absolutely unreal meeting.
If I'm going to try and get a little goofy here, he's the horse I'm going to use because of George.
He's no bum, this horse.
No,
he's no bum. This horse is good.
He's not.
No, I'm not.
He's
he
absolutely
can be forward.
not.
I don't love him going a little longer. I don't like his running style going longer, but he can be forward in here. And, I mean, you think about the fact that Jorge Abreu is he's 6 for 15, but he also had a DQ. So he's actually
right.
I mean,
and 3 seconds.
He's having a remarkably great meet. He really, his horses are just all running. As far as Argon, who I was thinking of putting on top, I don't know if he's quite good enough. He's another horse. See, I think that they're going to look to be a little aggressive with him today because they'll sense the lack of pace.
Well,
they have the rail.
That's when he runs the best,
right?
Go,
right. And he didn't run terribly last time. They may just been slightly better horses.
Well, listen, that's a race where Breaking the Rules comes back and wins. Digital Age comes back and wins again. Breaking the Rules comes back and wins again. Digital.
Yeah.
Yeah. My issue with him was
distance, no problem.
He kind of his 2 trips when he won his races were brilliant.
I by the way, I completely agree.
Junior
with you.
walks
that
the dog
was one
in
of
the
my
2
problems
other
with him. I looked and
then he just sat there and let the race come to him.
And other guys had bad trips and bad rides. You're 1,000% right.
He's the kind of horse. He's been opportunistic, but you know what? The money's just as green and you're opportunistic
but he's still
as it is
a good
when
horse
you
has a good
work
post
out
that
luck.
could get a good trip and get lucky, get a piece. But you're
could.
absolutely right. This is
He
a
could.
horse that actually got very lucky.
Yeah.
That Anthony actually picked 4th, but he was afraid that he was going to alienate one of his good
friends.
friends.
I did not pick him 4th.
I'm telling you, this is the day that will live in infamy. This really is a very sad day. It really is.
You don't stop, man. You just don't stop.
Why should I? They're still in the canoe.
I'm going to be with Jerry today, too.
Can I take a picture of that canoe?
Going to Bubba's Appreciation Day today. And I'm not the Bubba.
And I don't even appreciate Bubba, but I feel I got to take a picture of that. I have
the canoe.
To.
So what we see right now are 2 gentlemen in the Saratoga
I'm not sure we should be talking about it.
Floating around the river.
Yeah, these guys are. I don't know what's going on here.
I don't know if they're fishing.
Anyhow,
I don't know what's going on.
Race number 10 at
pick
1 mile.
Is there pickerel in the lake?
I was going to change my pick when I saw Anthony. I picked the same horse just to sort of mix it up a little bit. Well, I do that. I mean,
I know you do.
You know, it's like the steak yesterday. They were 2 horses. You took one. I took the other. It's a yin and a yang. The show's better. And it's not. If anybody.
Andy got a very worried text. Are they going to take me down here? I don't know if they're going to take you down, but they're not taking down the 6. What's the reaction? I just started laughing.
We'll show Lucky Latka's finishing ahead of Corded. I don't like Lucky Latka's. This is 2 back for Lucky Latka's. I thought Corded actually ran the better race being in front here as the race sort of came apart at the end, then got engaged last time out and gets to Rosario and sort of logical. I'm sort of 4 9s and 10s here. A little 1. I don't like the 8, Anthony.
You don't like Lucky. I mean, do you
Lucky
have a thing
Latka's was awful last time.
Do you not like Lackas? You didn't like this horse first time?
This horse was
terrible last time.
Atrocious.
Terrible.
Atrocious.
Awful.
And it's going to be a short price and was atrocious last time. And frankly, was sucking up here. I think Corded did more work, so I prefer Corded. I think Corded's going to beat Lucky Latka's. Running on entry is sort of the interesting horse in here.
Yes. We both have. You have him second. I have a third.
Well, I mean, this horse. I mean, wait a second. What did I miss on this horse last time? What did I say?
I don't remember what you said last time. Well, I'll tell you what. She certainly looked like a horse that needed to get back to the races after 13 months away. That's all. That's really all it looked like. It looked like she needed a race.
Yeah, I'm sorry. She actually didn't have a trip last time. I just thought she might need a race off that.
She just needed a race.
She had an easy trip. I'm sorry. I'm looking at the wrong horse. The horse who had a trip is Unicorn Sally.
Yeah. She was first time.
Had a trip.
She was first time blinkers. She was off the long break.
She was slow.
Dropping
she got a step
now.
slip on her legs or something. I don't know. It was a stumble. I don't know what it was. She's probably the one that had the trip. So 4 9 and 10 for me.
Yeah.
The 9-second.
I'm going to use Lucky Lock as well. 4, 8, 9, 10.
I'm not using Lucky Lock.
Okay.
Tonally didn't run horrendously in there. I know that, 107 to 1. The thing about the 7 Tonally is she broke 2 lengths slow in that race, Anthony.
She
actually didn't run that badly. And I'm just saying, she's going to be a crazy price, the 7. You want some bombs here? Tonally actually ran a little bit last time out.
I'm going to give you my
Lady
crazy
Tufflesburg,
price.
the 1.
I'll give you my crazy price. Who? You want to talk about somebody who's going to be disappointed. Gary Gullo has run Saratoga Lullaby twice on the turf in 2 turf sprints. Horse did very, very little running. This horse was 6 to 1 first time out. 2 sprints to a route. Luis Saez is going to ride, so it's the 3rd high-profile rider, Manny Franco, Jose Lascano, and now Luis Saez. So he keeps reaching out to the top riders, and now he stretches her out. He must think she's okay.
You can get Frankie Dettori to come over for
She's
the
a
4
big
star.
price.
You're going to be all in. Okay.
I'd rather Luis Saez.
What?
That's me.
At least you could have had the horse in your top 4 if you really thought the horse was interesting.
Yeah, I almost did.
Kind of gutless, don't
I
you
almost
think?
did. Yeah, that's me.
Now you're trying to get credit without
That's
even having
me.
your top 4.
Gutless.
Only a little top of the canoe right now.
Are you okay now?
As far as Lady Tufflesburg, don't you kind of want to throw in the 1 Lady Tufflesburg off this trainer switch to Mike Maselli?
Sure. Yeah.
I don't know. Gets the rail. I mean, I know the horse didn't do much running, but that's being nice.
That's being very,
But don't you kind of want to take a little shot on the trainer switch to Mike Maselli from a trainer who's 5% with 75 starters?
Eddie Asperua sending his horse up to Mike. Eddie
By the
still
way,
owns his horse.
Mrs. Orb ran very well yesterday.
She did. You know who ran well too? Was that Charlie's filly who comes storming down the center of the track? It looked like for a split second she was just going to gobble them all up, and she stopped. It was like while playing a video game. The 2, 33 to 1, ran 3rd.
Do you have the name? Horse throwing at Finger Lakes mostly, right?
Yeah. She made a move like she was just going to gobble everything up, and then the 16th hole she kind of just stopped, like you hit pause on the television. She ran 3rd. Newly minted ran well yesterday. Jose gave her a great ride yesterday. When Radzikowski doesn't break, I think Jose did a great job. He realized he had to call a little bit of an audible. I can't imagine the plan was to be, he thought he would be chasing Carrera Cat. He probably thought the 2 of them were going to go. And once he saw that Radzikowski was nowhere to be found.
Forever Changed, that was the horse. Forever Changed?
Forever Changed, yeah. Once he saw Radzikowski not break, Jose put her right into the race. I thought he gave her a brilliant ride yesterday.
Been a pleasure, Anthony.
We'll do it again tomorrow. Alabama, one of my favorite weekends of the year is Alabama weekend.
You got a horse racing preview or stakes
Horse
preview?
Racing Radio Network weekend stakes preview presented by Naira Bets. It's in the can. Bobby Newman and I go over 12, including the Saratoga Derby Invitational and the Alabama tomorrow. Sunday, Saratoga Oaks Invitational. We have all the action from Woodbine, a couple of Del Mars, and the last stop on the road.
I'm being covered up by that Saratoga. That's really not right.
It's okay. The road to the Kentucky Derby ends tomorrow at the Pegasus down at Monmouth Park, the last points race. Pneumatic tries to get in. What are you looking at?
Well, I'm getting covered up by the
Oh, you are.
Nah,
it's not me. I don't care. I'm good. They know, Andy, they know which one if they had to pick one of us to cover up. And the boys and girls, the guys and gals in the truck made the right decision once again.
Head over to Naira Bets. I can't argue with him. He makes a great point. We'll
There
match
it
up to $200 of your initial deposit if you use the promo code SPA and you're a new member. And you should be a new member. You should be a member in Naira Bets. You should be supporting racing in New York.
No doubt.
Take advantage of the many special offers, like my friend yesterday who got an extra $667 yesterday after hitting that pick 5. You can get that $5 bonus. All you got to do is bet 25 or more to win. The last race here, the 4th at Del Mar. That's through Naira Bets, and both bets made through the app and the app only. The bankroll builder tomorrow, the Alabama, bet 50 or more to win or lose. You will get $20 towards that Derby Day bankroll.
And that's on both the app and the website.
Ooh.
More often than not, just the app. That's app and website.
App and website. You're really on top of your game today. Saratoga Sunday contest, $250 buy-in, all cash prizes. We will seed those pools. And there are 4 remaining, $2,500. Register now at Naira.com/challenge. And finally, last but not least, Saratoga Live. Every day, all day. All the races, all the action. Head to NYRA.com/Saratoga Live to get information on what networks we will be on. As well, remember, we are always on the NYRA YouTube page. Anthony, it's been a great pleasure.
See you tomorrow,
I hope you enjoy your day.
Yep.
I will see you tomorrow. I'm sure we'll be talking during the day, as we always do.
Watch it on NYRA Bets, and you can watch us on NYRA Bets, Saratoga Live, as well as the follow NYRA Bets on Twitter as well.
Bring that camera back, Johnny. They're really, this is, there we go.
Thanks, Johnny.
Appreciate it. I mean, you know, I mean,
he's waiting up.
The only one working here is Andrew, frankly.
Andrew moves around.
He's the only one that's really working here. The rest of them, I don't know.
He's always moving.
Anyhow, a man who's always working, the great, the one and only John Imbrial, up next for the reprise, the Scratches and Changes.